after a while, I realized for pin trading, you also need to be very strategic about how you ask, because you'll be like, oh yes, got pin. And then they'll take your pin and they'll be like, I don't have one. And then you're like, that's not what we agreed on. Yeah. I'm Stephenie Chen. I'm a Team Singapore kayaker. I am 33 years old this year and I've been an athlete for 15 years. I used to run mid-distance. I got really tired of that. Knew that I needed to choose a sport, like pick a sport, and like sitting down seemed like a good way to go.
Okay, so kayaking is sitting down, canoeing is kneeling down.
Imagine proposing to somebody like on one knee. Yeah.
What really draws you to kayaking? Is it like the water? Is it the training?
There's a bit more technical thought to it. If you ask Shanti, you'll probably get a different answer.
Yeah, you just came back from the Paris Olympics. How was the entire experience of the Olympics?
The crowd made like all the difference. With the crowd, it goes like the, oh wait a minute, this is not like your regular like world championship.
I mean, I've read articles online, right, where you narrowly missed out on the Tokyo Olympics.
For me, it sucked, definitely, like especially because it was like
over the years, you were SEA Games gold medalist, you were Asian Games silver medalist, and now just recently an Olympic finalist. What do all of these achievements mean to you? Okay, so why not we get started by introducing yourself? Like, what's your name and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Stephenie Chen. I'm a Team Singapore kayaker. I am 33 years old this year and I've been an athlete for 15 years.
Beautiful. And so what sport do you do?
Oh, sorry. I'm in kayaking, which is also the main sport is canoeing, but I do kayaking, which is we sit down instead of kneel when we paddle. Yeah. And we do it as fast as possible by getting to the going down the course.
Okay, so
Yeah.
kayaking is sitting down, canoeing is kneeling down.
Yes, imagine proposing to somebody like on one knee. Yeah. That is canoeing. Yeah.
I see.
That's the easiest way to explain it. Yeah.
Okay, then very quickly, on a side note, what's dragon boat then? What's the difference between the three?
Dragon boat is the same, your upper body is doing the same thing as canoeing, but you're seated like a kayaker.
Okay.
Times 20 people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like more like a very team sport, a larger group of
Dragon
people.
boat is a very easily like accessible team building sport also. So that's why a lot of corporations actually have like sports teams in dragon boat, because team building plus like easy access.
Is there team in kayaking?
Yes, we do have individuals, so there's K1,
Okay.
K2 and K4. Yeah.
Interesting. But
So like
yeah.
if you compare to rowing has singles, doubles, 4 and 8. Yeah. And then dragon boat has 20.
I see. Brilliant. Thanks for the crash course. And I want to ask, like, your main sport is kayaking, right?
Yeah.
How did it all begin? Like, what got you started into kayaking?
Well, I started because my eldest sister Andrea, she was already in the sport. Or rather, she was already in the national team, and the coach at that point in time asked her, like, he was trying to grow the team, so he asked her like, why not ask your sisters to come down, try out, and see if they like it. And so like to get me together with two other sisters, we also started lah. So like we just go down for fun every weekend. We'll just go and paddle, and then it came to a point where I was transitioning from secondary school to JC. So I used to run mid distance, and then I got really tired of that. Knew that I needed to choose a sport, like pick a sport, and like sitting down seemed like a good way to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you come from a big family, right? So are you like the second
Yes.
eldest, or?
No, I'm the second youngest actually.
Okay, you're
Yeah.
the second youngest. All
Yeah.
right. So what really draws you to kayaking? Is it like the water? Is it the training? Is it what is different from like running?
I don't I don't feel my sweat as much. It's not that I don't
Okay.
sweat. I don't feel my sweat as much
Yeah.
because like you're surrounded by water. You can kind of cool yourself off a little bit depending on where you are, like depending on the water quality and stuff like that.
Mm,
It is there's a bit more technical thought to it. I think
mm,
there's a bit more like because it involves you like being in a boat,
mm.
having connection to the water through a paddle instead of your legs just carrying you forward and it being 100% up to your body's proprioception. What I feel lah. If you ask Shanti, you'll probably get a different answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
Like
there's, like you said, there's a lot of technical process that comes to it. Yeah.
yes, there is. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm yeah, quite a bit. Yeah. It's still pretty brainless in the sense that when you race, you're not thinking about your technical process. You're just heading to the line as quick as possible lah. So yeah.
Nice. No, I like how you mentioned when you said it's cooling as compared to running. I mean myself,
In Singapore, it's very
yeah,
important.
definitely. But myself, growing up in Singapore, I've always been into water sports as well. So like I did
Yeah.
swimming, I did sailing in primary school, and
Mm-hmm.
then in like secondary and poly, I did some dragon boating. Not very into it, but I didn't like when the sand mixes with the water, and it's on your feet, on your body, and then the heat of Singapore as well, and everything combines. It's not a good
Yeah,
feeling,
for
yeah.
dragon boat, it's not as easy to splash yourself with water, but you have your teammates to splash you. What?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the equipments are heavy as well, like the boats that you got to carry and everything into the water.
Yes, I never
But
had to do that. Sorry, I did only like do dragon boat like once in my life. I think it's just not for me. Sorry, the boat
yeah,
moves so much slower. There's just like too much effort that goes into it, and then you don't see any like gains.
exactly,
How I
exactly.
see, yeah, yeah,
Okay, so I mean, we were just chatting earlier.
yeah.
You said you just came back from the Paris Olympics. So I just want to
Mm-hmm.
know more about that. Like, first of all, like, how do you first find out that you're going to the Paris Olympics? And what was your initial feelings and reactions when you found out?
Um, but so by coming, so we have Olympic qualifiers. We had Olympic qualifiers in April, and that was in Tokyo. And I knew I had to come in a certain position. I knew, okay, because it's a bit, okay, I'm going to get a little
No
technical, or
worries. Yeah, go
rather,
for
like,
it.
get a little deep into it now. To qualify for the Olympics, you needed to come in either first or second. But if there was a team boat event, so just now I mentioned the K2,
Mm,
if the team boats qualified, like the same country qualified already and through the team boats, they don't qualify for the K1. So China had already won the K2, so they already won a slot there. They were not qualified. They would be automatically out of the running for K1. So initially, the top two for K1 qualifies for the Olympics, and then I came in third, which was fine because the K2 had already like was already the K2 event was already over, and I knew that China automatic it's like basically automatically disqualified from the running lah.
mm,
So I knew that it's like second or third was good. Um, I was actually really upset with my race, so
mm.
I really hated it. I knew I had qualified, but my initial reaction was, "Oh my god, that was such an ugly race!" And like my coach came up to me and he was like, "Congratulations, like we made it, we're going!" And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry!" I was like crying. I was like, "I'm so sorry. It was such an ugly race. I hated it. Like it was horrible. There's so many things that we can improve. Like not so many things we could improve on, but it was just for me, it was like I would rate it one of my worst races in a really, really long time. So I was actually pretty upset with it. So that was actually my initial reaction. And then my
Mm.
coach was like, "What's wrong with you? You just qualified for the Olympics. Can you please like take time to celebrate? Yes, it could have been ugly, but you got the job done." And then so yeah, like after that it was it took me a while to like, oh my god, I'm going. Also because I took a short holiday after that with like my sisters, like
Mhm.
that were there to support me, and like my federation also took a while to get back to me whether they were gonna have a selection process for the slot. So there was a bit of oh, what's happening now? Am I going? Am I not going? Sort of thing. Yeah, but when they, I think by the time that they announced that okay, the slot is yours, you're going, I was already like deep into like training, like back to training, and like I was just like in the dumps already. I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm going, I'm really training for it. It's like, yeah. So it was kind of a, as you can tell, it was a mixed bag of
Yeah.
like emotions and stuff. But I think I've realized across the years that with everything, like with highs and lows, there's always like a bit of a silver lining. There's always a bit of a downside. It's just kind of what you decide to see. Yeah, and what you decide to focus on that kind of just makes not the difference, but how it frames the
Mm.
whole situation. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, like you said, it's a mixed bag, and I thought it was interesting that, I mean, you said it was an ugly race, even though you qualified for Olympics, but it only shows
yeah,
the elite mentality that a athlete like yourself have, right? But it's good to have a coach as well, to tell you to, you know,
yeah. I mean,
relax and stuff.
yeah, he does get like pretty like hard on me and stuff during training, but when it comes to competitions, he does know like that my weakest point is my confidence. So he does know that he has to rally me
Mm,
instead of like, oh yeah, like this is what we can work on instead, because I tend to focus on if this is what I have to work on, this was what was bad.
mm,
And then I tend to like hyper focus on what was bad instead of what can be
mm.
better. Yeah.
Beautiful. And how was the entire experience of the Olympics? Like, walk me through. Like, was there anything memorable, competing with the best? What was it like in Paris?
I would say like com- competing wise, it was pretty similar to like competition wise, it was pretty similar to like our usual like world champs and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But the crowd made like all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like with the crowd, it goes like the oh wait, I mean, this is not like your regular like world championships where like you have a big crowd and like everyone's supporting each other and blah blah blah. Like, cause the people that I compete with, like, I've competed with, I've
Mm,
been competing with them for the past 10, 12 years. Like
mm,
I know them. No one's really new. But having the crowd there, and realizing that this is on a different level, um, it threw me a little, to be honest. My first race was like, I started and I was like, what is happening? And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be racing right now.
mm.
It's also in the race. After that, it was just like kind of a blur of like what was going on. And it was like, I didn't really know what to focus on, everything. It was just everything. I threw everything out the window. Yeah. So, but following that, it was pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with my performance. But the Olympic experience in itself, it was really interesting. I think because at the start it was more like oh okay, like because we go to I've been to a few Asian games, and when
Mm,
China hosts Asian games, it's a really big game. Like they put on a really good show and stuff. And so like with the Olympics, I was like, oh okay, like the village is smaller, they have less space and blah blah blah. But it just makes like a lot of difference when you are surrounded by like athletes that you see like
mm.
internationally, and like like you have a chance to like run into like Simone Biles or like Alcaraz or like Nadal,
Mm.
and it just goes a bit like the who's around me sort of feeling. Yeah, so then like I think I kind of like took that and like ran with it. Like even though we couldn't leave the village, like it was just see who I can catch. More like see who I can catch and see how many pins I could trade.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
because yeah, that was mainly I guess that was mainly what I was doing in the village most days. It's just like after a while I realized for pin trading you also need to be very strategic about how you ask,
Yeah.
because you'll be like, oh yes, got pin, and then they'll take your pin and they'll be like, I don't have one. And then you're like, that's not what we agreed on. Yeah. But yeah, that was it was a nice experience.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty exciting, sounds pretty exhilarating. Like, the environment makes so much of a difference between
Yeah.
different competitions. And whatever you just mentioned, about seeing, like other stars at the village and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, I was just talking to Ken Yu last week as well. No, Ken
Yeah.
Yu, he said the same thing as well. He was talking about Alcaraz and all that kind of different
Yeah, the
people.
badminton players had like the same bus
Yeah,
stop area as the tennis players, so they actually ran into a lot of the like big stars. I was with climbing, and it was happening. Climbing was happening at the same time.
yeah.
So then, yeah, I that's those were the stars that I ran into. But I was like, I would have liked to like have a photo with Alcaraz
And also
or
the
Djokovic.
exactly,
Yeah,
and also the pins trading thing was super cool. Like I saw videos on it. Like people were trading with like getting rare pins from like I don't know rare countries and stuff like that. Like you said,
yeah.
you have to be
I got
strategic.
like Bermuda Triangle, like from
Wow.
Bermuda, and their pin was in the shape of a triangle,
Oh my
which
god.
I was like, that's so cute. Yeah, like
But
instantly,
how
like
many pins did you bring? Or is that do they allocate a certain amount of pins, or do you have like do you bring your
every athlete gets like a allocation of pins. I actually didn't count the batch
yeah?
that we had this time round, but I'm pretty sure it was bigger than usual. Like so for SEA Games, for Asian Games, and for the Olympics, they always give you
Mm-mm.
pins. But I think the number of pins that they gave us was more than usual. But I
Mm.
also did print my own.
Wow. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, because I realized during Asian Games that people started printing their own, and then it will become like a hot collector item.
Yes,
And
yes.
then like if like they'll be very selective about the pins that you trade. But
Yeah.
um I also realized because we are a pretty small country, like our pins are also pretty rare. Yeah. So people would naturally already want to trade with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at
Yeah.
the custom ones also, the
Yeah.
Simone Biles and then Snoop Dogg as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
the Snoop
crazy.
Dogg one is yeah. I got the bubble tea pin from Chinese Taipei. From from Hong Kong. No, 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 no. I got the bubble tea pin from Chinese Taipei.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I heard the
yeah,
Taipei one's nice.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very nice. It's very cute. And they have a whole collection of like different pins. But I was very happy with the bubble tea. I didn't need to collect anymore.
Bubble
Yeah.
tea is the best. Fantastic. All right. So, okay, now just moving on, like, just a quick one. I remember back when I was younger, I was going through an incredibly tough period in my life where I had no one to talk to about my problems. There was no place I could share my honest thoughts and feelings because I was just so afraid of being judged by people. And I realized that was so bad for my mental well being. It's like bottling up everything and just waiting for a day where it all explodes. So, no, we're not gonna let that happen for you. Because my team and I have developed a free social app called Huddle.so where you can share all your problems anonymously, whatever is currently on your mind that's bothering you, whatever is making you upset or giving you sleepless nights. This is a non-toxic app where you can just be yourself, heal, and make many wholesome friends that will be there for you to support you during difficult times. The app is currently available on iOS at the moment, so good news for iPhone users. But we are working really hard to get an Android version out as soon as we can, so we don't miss out on the rest of you. So trust me, download the app, give it a shot, and I guarantee you that your future you will thank you for taking care of yourself. I'll put the link in the description below as well, and I'll see you in Harvest. I mean, I've read articles online, right, where you narrowly missed out on the Tokyo Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, was it like a few seconds and stuff like that? And then I don't know, like how did it affect your mentality and your commitment back then? Like what was going through your mind? Like it was really tough, right?
Um, I actually have a very different view of missing out on the Olympics the previous time
Mm,
round. Because for me, I've always been a very step by step person.
yeah.
And if actually to be honest with you, like qualifying for the Olympics wasn't even on my radar
Mm,
up till like maybe 8 years, 6 years ago. And actually even the one that I narrowly missed out on, so like the Tokyo one, when I missed out on it, like I had only really like considered my capabilities like only in like 2018.
mm,
Yeah, so it wasn't I always feel like if you can't make it at the Asian level yet, making it for the Olympics, like qualifying for the Olympics, um, isn't very nice if you qualify and then you don't really have anything to show for it. And if you're not like top two in Asia, you wouldn't really have anything to show for it in the at the Olympics. So like I always knew like I needed to like improve a lot more before I could like have a good showing at the Olympics. And so narrowly missing out in 2021 for me, it sucked definitely, like especially because it was like 0.0 something seconds for
Mm.
both events. Um and I felt, and I at that point in time I already felt pretty ready. But I had also like started like changing things with training, like making changes, like changing programs, changing the way that I do things. And so I knew that I was happy because I knew that I was on the right track. And because of that, I was happy to run with it because I was like, look, give me another 4 years and like I'll do so much better. And like it's just, maybe it's just not my time. And I think I'm just generally a very, in a sense, a patient person with progress.
Mm.
So like I know that it doesn't like come like overnight and it takes a while. And yes, there are success stories out there of people like, look at Max, he's like 17 years old, he's already like bronze
Mm.
medalist and stuff, but he's like he's a once in a generation sort of athlete.
Mm.
And like not everyone can be that. And it just, for you, if you have hard work, if you work hard, you generally, if you're not talented, you just have to work harder.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
And everyone goes at a different pace. So,
yes,
I mean,
yes.
no, I think that's beautiful. The introspection that you've shared. I mean, a lot of insights of the thought process that you go through. And no, I think I just want to say thanks for that because it's just very interesting to see like how you've mentioned that, you know, if you're not ready, then you should not
Mm-hmm.
be going, right? You got to show something for it in order to go to the top echelons of the sport that you're in. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you have done that, right? I mean, over the years, yeah, you were SEA Games gold medalist, you were Asian Games silver medalist, and now just recently an Olympic finalist. So I just want to ask, like, what do all of these achievements mean to you? Like having achieved all of that.
Mm, I think the achievements, as you put it to me, I'm in hindsight, I'm just really grateful that I came into the sport at the right time. Like we needed more people. I had a really good group of people to train with, and that really helped my first few developmental years. And then later, when I needed to make the step further, I had the support from like my sister, my coach, my brother-in-law, who's also my coach. And that made a lot of difference in stepping up and leveling up to the point where I am now. So I think all the achievements for me, I'm just very cognizant of the fact that I couldn't have done it alone. And that I'm very grateful that I've had this support, like, because I'm very sure I can say that not everyone has this much support from their family and friends lah. Yeah.
100%. I think that really means a lot. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of great things that are achieved cannot be done alone. I mean, contrary to what is seen, you know, on the media and
Mm-hmm.
everything. I mean, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
family, there's coach,
Yeah.
there's I don't know, sports psychologist, sports nutrition, everything that comes into play
Yeah.
to make you tip top, ready to fight for the gold medals, right? So
Mm-hmm.
no, that's brilliant. Thanks for sharing that. And now just to lighten it up a bit, I just want to ask, like, aside from kayaking, do you have any other like interests or hobbies like you usually spend your time? I mean, other than bubble tea.
I actually haven't had that much bubble tea because yeah, sadly, I think it's been drilled out of me. But I like to find good coffee,
Yeah.
but um it's also very expensive in Singapore. So I
Mm,
treat myself when I'm overseas, and I like to travel a lot. So whenever I'm overseas, I also always make a point to like try different coffee spots and stuff like that.
mm,
But yeah, I think I am lucky in the sense that I'm not tied down to Singapore. Like I don't have like a partner or like kids that like
mm.
I can't travel. You know, that's I'm like able
Yep.
to just like drop things and go like,
Yep.
let's go for a holiday. And I really like to travel. I really like I realize I really like hiking quite a
Mm,
bit. So whenever I go overseas, I always try to find like a hike or two to like just get into nature and just put on a podcast and just start hiking. So that's one of the things that I really like to do. But if you ask me what my hobbies are when I am training, like when I'm in season, then that will be a totally different answer, because then that will be just me on the couch whenever. And it's like spend as much time on the couch as possible. And yeah, so yeah, I think it really varies like which time season you're catching me in. Yeah.
Mm. So rest a lot during when you have the free time during on season.
Yeah.
And I mean, just a side question, like when you're on season, do you pay a lot of attention to your diet, like what you eat every single day as a kayaker? Yeah.
I pay attention to my diet in the sense that I make sure I've got enough protein and vegetables.
Mm.
Um, but I don't pay attention in the sense that I eat what, like, if I want to have like cookies every day
Mhm.
and sort of thing, it's just I'll eat it. Like I don't have to watch
Yeah.
what I eat, because we're not a weight category sport.
Mm.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we don't have weight category. So for us, it's a bit different, because yeah, we don't have to worry about that. As long as you can literally pull your own weight or more, then it's fine. Yeah. So nutrition is something that I struggle with more when I am not training, because then I tend to just like switch off and like eat
Mm.
whatever I feel like eating, and I don't get enough, like, and then if I end up not getting enough protein and stuff, then I start losing like my bulk and
Mm.
whatnot. So it's not really an issue if I am training, but it's more of an issue when I'm not. Yeah.
I see.
So yeah, you can tell a lot of things like during off season just goes haywire lah, which is
Yeah.
normal, because if your off season is only like 1-2 weeks, then it's not that big of a deal. But if it's like me, 3 months, coming three
Yeah.
months now, then it will make a bit of a difference. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought like you were gonna like count your proteins, carbohydrates, fats, to the very fine decimal, and then eat
I've started
everything very accordingly.
yeah. I started tracking like my exercise on my watch instead, and like I was asking, I did a workout like about 2 weeks ago or something like that,
Yeah.
and I was just asking my coach. I was like, "Is this a lot?" We were like, what is 300 kilocalories? Like, is that burning a lot or one hour? I don't even know. Like, I wouldn't know how to count
Yeah.
anything. Like, which I guess maybe I should like know like a rough idea, but I mean, for me, it's like as long as I feel I have enough
Yeah.
energy input, I have enough energy output. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's good.
I, yeah. I mean, it's all about listening to your body lah. So
Definitely, definitely. And also like the part where you mentioned that you like hiking, because there's also a personal favorite of mine. Not in Singapore
mm,
though, but like in other
no, there's
countries.
nowhere in Singapore to hike.
Yeah, when you hike in
Can
other
climb
countries,
staircase
yeah,
lah.
when you hike in other countries, the weather is so nice, and then the
Mm,
forest and everything, like the waterfalls, everything is so different from
yeah,
Singapore. So yeah,
yeah. I'm actually heading to Korea in what's that? In 3 weeks, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, for
beautiful.
a week. And me and my best friend, I like to hike, and she will be
Yeah,
like, "Okay, let's go." And so we are looking at hikes. And the last time that I hiked in Korea, it actually got like really dicey towards the end.
yeah,
Apparently, it's a thing in Korea when people say like it's an easy hike.
yeah.
Don't believe them.
Oh my gosh. And what's the weather like
Oh yeah.
in like 3 weeks?
Oh, it's like autumn. So it's
Oh,
perfect. It's
okay.
like you're gonna have
Yeah,
like the autumn colors and stuff like
yeah.
that. Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm happy for you as well. So I hope you enjoy, with your trip with your best friend, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, Stephenie, thanks so much for everything. Thanks for coming on.
Mm.
We're at the end,
Thank you for
so
having me.
I mean a lot of valuable insights that we got out of this. So anyways, I'll just keep you updated. Let me know if you
Yep.
need
Sure.
anything. And
Sure.
yeah, I wish you a good rest of the week, yeah?
Yep. You too. Thank
Take care.
you.
Stay safe, yeah?
Bye. Yeah.
Bye.
For me, I found that in general, hard work generally pays off.
Mm,
So it's like for me, I always like to just keep my head down, train, get into the grind of things. But then I also realized that I've started to lose sight of the privilege that I've had. That I'm actually like, it's a privilege to be where I am, and like I need to like realize that, accept that, and make use of that, because not everyone's as lucky as me to like be able to like just train full time, travel the world, and yeah, do what I love. So it's like a privilege to be here, and um you need to make use of that lah. Yeah. So that's generally what I try to do, like live up to the privilege that I've had.